This little corner of my house used to stress me out every single day. It wasn't anything dramatic, just a pile of things that slowly built up over the years. Old mail, extra coats, forgotten gifts. Each item harmless on its own, but together, they whispered, "You're behind." One quiet morning, I'd had enough. With just a few bags and 30 minutes, I made a small decision that changed everything. I didn't try to tackle the whole house, just this one space. And that choice gave me something I didn't expect: peace. If you've ever looked around and felt overwhelmed, you're not alone. But the truth is, you don't need a weekend or a full overhaul. You just need one small corner, one clear intention, and a little bit of courage. Today, I'll walk you through how I did it, step by step. Simple, doable, and honest. Because after 60, we deserve spaces that feel like support, not stress. Let's start fresh, right where we are. After 60, it's easy to look around and realize just how much has quietly accumulated. Not just objects, but years, memories. Moments tied to things we once needed or thought we couldn't let go of. It happens slowly. A drawer here, a closet there. And then one day, it all feels like too much. You open a door and feel a weight in your chest. You think, how did it get like this? You want to clear it, but the task feels overwhelming. You might even feel embarrassed, like you should have handled it sooner. I know that feeling because I've lived it. I stood in the middle of my own clutter and felt stuck. But I also learned something powerful. It's not about doing it all at once. It's about starting, gently, with one small space. And the freedom that follows? It's real. So if you're feeling behind or burdened, know this: you're not alone. You're just one small decision away from breathing a little easier in your own home again. Let's do it together. Today, I'm tackling the hallway closet, once a quiet little chaos I avoided daily. It had become a black hole filled with coats I no longer wore, boxes I hadn't opened in years, and random things I'd long forgotten. Every time I opened that door, it reminded me of all the decisions I'd been putting off. But not anymore. By the end of this video, you'll see a space that's no longer overwhelming, but calm, organized, and actually useful. And here's the best part: you can absolutely do this too. You don't need to be a minimalist or have hours of free time. You just need a gentle start, a little guidance, and a willingness to try. Whether your hallway closet looks like mine did, or you're just tired of the stuff taking over your peace, this is your invitation. One small step, one space at a time. Let's clear out the stress and make room for ease together. I started this process the way I always recommend: gently. No pressure, no marathon cleaning session. Just one goal: make progress, not perfection. I opened the hallway closet and took a breath. Then I said something I now say often: if I forgot it was there, I probably don't need it. It's a simple rule, but it cuts through the noise. We hold on to so many things thinking we'll get to them someday. But if someday hasn't come in years, maybe it's time to let it go. I began by removing everything. Yes, everything. Pulling items out one by one helped me see what I'd been avoiding. Old coats, mismatched gloves, a broken umbrella from who knows when, and stacks of boxes I hadn't touched in ages. Some things were easy to toss or donate. Others had memories attached. There was a scarf my daughter gave me when she was in college. I hadn't worn it in years, but it reminded me of her. Instead of keeping it hidden in a pile, I folded it neatly and placed it in a memory box. It didn't need to live in the hallway anymore. Then there were the random items: extra batteries, a tangle of extension cords, a few mystery keys. That's when I smiled and said, "Coming up, you won't believe what I found at the back of the shelf." It was a holiday ornament from 1998, tucked into a shoebox with a faded post-it that said, "Fix this." I never fixed it. I didn't even remember I had it. But I sat down for a minute and held it. I thought about all the years that had passed, and I realized, sometimes we don't need to fix everything. We just need to let it be, thank it for the memories, and move forward. That ornament, I took a picture of it and then let it go. As I continued, I used 4 basic categories: keep, donate, trash, unsure. That unsure pile is important. It keeps you moving. If you get stuck on an item, don't force a decision. Set it aside and revisit it at the end. Most of the time, after seeing the progress you've made, you'll realize you can let it go. One trick I've learned is to use clear bins for items you keep. That way, you can see what you have, and things don't vanish into the abyss again. And labeling. Yes, it helps more than you think. I made a bin for winter accessories, one for light bulbs and batteries, and one simply labeled guests, where I stored extra linens and small toiletry kits I offer when family stays over. But this wasn't just about sorting items. It was about releasing weight, physical and emotional. There was a coat that belonged to my late husband. I hadn't touched it in years, but it still carried his scent, faintly. For the longest time, I couldn't bear to move it. But I realized something. Keeping the coat in a closet I never opened wasn't honoring his memory. It was just avoiding the grief. So I did something different. I took a photo of the coat. I wrote a short note about the last time he wore it, how he made everyone laugh at Thanksgiving that year. Then I donated it. Someone else will wear it now. Someone who needs warmth. And I get to keep the memory, not the burden. You see, decluttering isn't just about having fewer things. It's about making space for you. For the life you're living now, not the one you used to have, or the one you're waiting on someday. And here's something that may surprise you. Once I got going, I felt lighter, not just in my home, but in my heart. The hallway closet became a symbol of possibility, a reminder that change doesn't have to be loud or overwhelming. It can be quiet, deliberate, and deeply freeing. I gave myself grace. I didn't try to be perfect. Some days I did a lot. Some days, just a few minutes. But every bit mattered. And along the way, I kept asking myself gentle questions. When was the last time I used this? Would I buy this again today? Is this item serving me, or just sitting here out of guilt? Those questions helped me move forward without resentment or regret. By the time I was done, I didn't just have a cleaner closet. I had a clearer mind. I could open the door without bracing myself. I could breathe. And the most surprising part? It actually inspired me to keep going. One space at a time. One day at a time. There was no pressure to finish the whole house. Just a quiet confidence that I could. So if you're standing in front of a cluttered space right now, wondering where to start small. One shelf, one drawer, one forgotten coat. Remind yourself, if I forgot it was there, I probably don't need it. And if you find something that brings up memories or emotions, that's okay. Pause, reflect, decide with kindness. This isn't about forcing change, it's about inviting peace. Here's my little secret. I set a 20-minute timer. No pressure, just motion. That's it. Not, I'm going to clean this entire closet. Or, I'm going to overhaul the house. Just 20 quiet minutes. Enough to begin, never so much that it feels overwhelming. You'd be amazed what can change in 20 minutes when the only goal is progress, not perfection. I started with the hallway closet. It's not a big space, but it was full of forgotten things. Winter coats, half-used candles, light bulbs, tangled scarves, even old batteries rolling around in the corners. I didn't even remember putting most of it there. So I emptied the whole thing out, item by item, and spread everything across the floor. That might sound chaotic, but in truth, it gave me control. When you see everything laid out, you stop imagining the mess and start dealing with it. As I sorted through it all, I used 4 simple piles. Keep, donate, trash, unsure. That last one, unsure, it's the most important. It gave me permission to keep moving without forcing hard decisions too early. For every item, I asked myself, do I still use this? Would I buy this again today? Is this helping me live the life I want now? And for sentimental items, I had a personal rule that changed everything. I save one, not all. That meant if I found a stack of old birthday cards, I chose the one that meant the most. If I uncovered 5 scarves from different family trips, I kept the one I still wear or that brings back the clearest memory. The rest, I let go with gratitude. Letting go doesn't mean erasing the past. It means honoring it without letting it crowd the present. One moment really stayed with me. I found a coat that had belonged to my late husband. I hadn't seen it in years. It was tucked into the far corner, buried beneath old boxes and linens. And as soon as I touched it, a wave of memories came rushing back. It still carried a faint trace of his cologne. I held it for a long time. But here's the thing. I realized I hadn't needed the coat to remember him. I remember him every day, in my routines, my smile lines, the way I talk to our grandchildren. That coat was a symbol of a beautiful chapter, but it wasn't the chapter itself. So I made a choice. I kept one photo of him wearing it, and I donated the coat. Someone else will use it now, someone who might really need it. And I get to keep the memory, free from the weight of holding on to more than I need. That one decision gave me more emotional space than I expected. And that's the part no one tells you about decluttering. It's emotional. especially after 60. We're not just organizing stuff. We're sorting through lifetimes. Milestones, chapters, people we've loved, versions of ourselves we've outgrown. So be gentle with yourself. When something feels hard to let go, pause. Ask, is this helping me move forward? Am I keeping this out of love or guilt? Can I honor the memory in another way? If the answer is yes, take a photo. Write a note about the story behind the item. Share it with someone you love. Then let it go. I can't tell you how powerful that practice has been for me. And once I had cleared the sentimental pieces, the rest got easier. I found expired coupons, old receipts, empty boxes I had saved just in case. I smiled and said aloud, if I forgot it was there, I probably don't need it. That simple phrase became a little mantra. It helped me let go of the things that were quietly weighing me down. Within those 20 minutes, and okay, maybe a little longer once I got going, I had cleared out an entire closet. But it wasn't just cleaner. It was lighter. It was peaceful. I used a few small, labeled bins to give the space structure. One for winter accessories, one for small household tools, one for guest supplies, like extra toothbrushes and travel-sized shampoo. Nothing fancy, just enough order so I wouldn't lose things again. I even made space for one unexpected item, a small notebook, where I now jot down what I've decluttered and how it felt. That notebook has become a surprising source of joy. On days when I feel stuck or overwhelmed, I flip through it and remember, I can do this, one space at a time. You don't have to finish everything in one day. You don't need to declutter your whole house. You just need one moment of motion, one honest decision, one corner of peace. That hallway closet, once full of stress and forgotten things, is now a little space of calm. When I open the door, I don't brace myself. I breathe easier, and I smile. And the best part? It gave me momentum. Decluttering isn't a one-time event, it's a mindset, a lifestyle, a gift we give ourselves as we enter a new chapter, wiser, freer, and more focused on what really matters. If you're watching this and feeling the pull to start, but also the fear, let me offer you this. Start small. Set a timer. Be kind to yourself. You are not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. And the smallest step forward is still a step forward. If it helps, repeat after me. If I forgot it was there, I probably don't need it. Sentimental items? I save one, not all. And 20 quiet minutes is more than enough to change my day. Let's keep going. One drawer, one memory, one fresh start at a time. This isn't just about cleaning. It's about letting go of what no longer serves me and making space for the life I want to live now, not the one I lived 30 years ago. After I retired, I finally saw how much I had been holding on to out of habit. Drawers full of things I kept just in case, extra kitchen tools, stacks of towels, clothes I hadn't worn in a decade. I told myself I might need them someday, but that someday kept me stuck in the past. True freedom began when I let go of just in case. Because the truth is, I'm not the same person I was then. My needs are different. My priorities have shifted, and that's okay. Decluttering gave me room to breathe, to move, and to enjoy my space without feeling overwhelmed. If you've been feeling the weight of stuff you no longer use, ask yourself, is this helping the life I'm living now? If not, it might be time to gently let it go and see what opens up in its place. Here's the closet now. No more mystery boxes. No more dread when I open the door. Just a simple, organized space that makes sense for the life I'm living today. Every item has a place, and I actually know what's in there. It may seem small, but the impact is real. Instead of stress, I feel calm. I feel capable. It's not just about a tidy closet, it's about the energy I reclaimed by clearing out what no longer belonged. It's like I gave myself a little room to breathe again. And that space? It creates peace, not just in the hallway, but in my day, in my choices, and in how I feel about my home. This is what progress looks like. Quiet, simple, and powerful. What's one corner of your home that's calling for a fresh start? A drawer, a closet, maybe that one spot you keep meaning to get to? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. You're not alone in this, and your story might inspire someone else to begin. And if this video gave you even a spark of motivation, a moment of I can do this, give it a like and subscribe. There's a whole journey ahead, and we're doing it together. One step, one space, one simple shift at a time.